Yo, what's up, you guys? It's Brendan back here again. I'm gonna be doing a little series. I was thinking, you know what? I'm doing all this stuff behind the scenes, but I'm not really sharing any of it with you guys. So I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna do some YouTube shorts. Basically, I'm gonna start off with this one. It's gonna just be an about me, my experience, where I was, where I am now, and where I wanna go. I started a clothing company about 8 months ago, and we've generated about $3,000 in revenue so far. I was working med device sales, hated my life, hated my job. Probably the youngest person in my company by 10 years. And I was working in the OR. So if you guys aren't aware, orthopedic surgical device rep is what I was. I kept hearing all around like, hey, like you're doing a great job. From my mom, from my father, from my friends, family, all sorts of things. My really close circle was all very proud of me. And a lot of people at 40 years old would die for your job, basically. And that made me feel good. I was like, okay, cool, I'm in the right path. But I kept noticing on a day-to-day basis when I was waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, getting to work mad early, it was just like cold, grungy, like not my favorite vibe. I like being challenged, but it's not really in my passion. I don't really care too much about surgeries or the medical field, but that's what I thought I wanted to do. I just graduated college, and that's like kind of the big first step is for someone who just graduated college is to get a big 9 to 5 job. And so that's kind of where my head was at. So I began to notice a trend. I began to notice all these people were telling me, hey, you're doing great. But I was feeling kind of bad. And I was like, this is weird. I'm kind of like not sucking it up, but I'm kind of like going through the motions just because I'm listening to everybody else and listening to everybody else's opinion about what I'm doing with my life. And that was enough for me to continue going. And that was why I was like, this is a weird feeling, because I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do. But the fact that they were all kind of like, encouraging me and telling me like, you're on the right path, you're going to do great things, was enough for me to keep going. But over time, I began to develop this sense of like void. I was like, oh, this isn't really fulfilling to me. It's a very difficult job. I wasn't really excelling. It's not my passion. I was kind of shit, to be honest with you. I was kind of bad at my job. Whatever, fast forward, besides the point. So I had an epiphany one day. I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop listening to everybody else. I'm going to do what I want to do. And I don't care what anybody else thinks. Monday, like 9 a.m. in the morning, I had just gotten out of my first case, and I had that feeling of like, oh, dude, I'm not doing this anymore. This is not for me. This job sucks. And I was like, you know what, dude? I'm going to call my boss today or tomorrow and tell him, hey, man, this isn't working for me. Sorry to tell you, but I got to go. I texted him that day. I was like, hey, you have time to talk tomorrow? He was like, yeah, no problem. Is everything all right? I said, yeah, everything's cool. Little did he know. So I set the appointment for Tuesday after work. Tuesday comes around, 5 o'clock. Everything's all done. Everything's set up. Everything's good to go. I meet with him at the office. It's the most intimidated I've ever felt. I was super scared. I was super nervous. I didn't want to let him down. And I knew what I was going to tell him. I was like, man, this is going to suck. I don't know what his reaction is going to be like. I don't know if he's going to be pissed at me or whatever. I told him, hey, man, like this really isn't my thing. It's not my gig. I don't want to see this through any longer. So I appreciate you guys for what you guys have done for me, all the training you've gone through. And I felt really bad. I was like, damn, I'm really letting these guys down. That was the sense I had. At 23 years old, I was like, I'm letting them down. He was very understanding of it. He knew I wasn't really doing that great. He was like, okay, well, we can make that work for you. Get out of the